detected my tool. I'm gonna get in here and program this ECU or the transmission control module. I got it set up on the bench. Let me get my camera.
I'll put this on. So right now I got it hooked up. A little noise on there is because of these solenoids that's in the pack here. Let's couple the noise into the cam on this thing. So got it plugged in, got it on the bench, and it is reading. It did read all the serial data and everything. So, but now I got it on Techline Connect, and we're going to program it real quick. So let me get the camera set up here, and I'll let's see here. Horrible angle. Alright, well, I'll just leave it like this.
Alright, let's get over here on SPS and let's see what it says here. This overlay, yeah, okay, there we go. Let me blow this up just a little bit more and kind of see it here. That can line is noisy because it's solenoid, but that's okay. Let's look up reprogram. Next, down here at the bottom right corner, they make it a really small button on there, so
Turn off the, I probably have a double echo on that. So let me, there we go. Let's see how well this does.
alright, there we go. I'm just going to use my microphone on my laptop for this. Alright, so now I want to go down to the TCM control, programming, normal, and collect. Oh, you can't even hardly see that on your screen, but that's okay. Next. So it's going to check the module. It's going to make sure I got the right tool, which you can't see that screen. If I move this screen out of the way, you can kind of see the screen that I have up is like right here. So let's choose the MaxiFlash VCMI. That's what I'm using from Autel. It's reading the vehicle data. Validating controller, getting programming data. Okay, so transmission. Alright, let's go to the latest and greatest. So, what does this one says? Used for calibration only if customer complains about poor performance or lack of downshifts between 35 and 70. New calibration allows for balance of clutch pressures and less torque management. New calibration for correct for 5 upshift flare. Let's see, that's for 5.1. Okay. New calibration for improved driveline. So you can't really see it on your screen. Let me see if I can blow this up and make it a little bit better definition there. I ain't worried about watching the bench here. But I had to check transmission here because that was unselected. All these are the past calibrations and stuff, and then we have this one and the latest one here. So let's see, 42, 131, 46. Well, maybe this one is the latest one here. 42, 46, 42, 46. So this one's got to be the latest calibration here. because I usually go by numbers. So 59, 51. Okay, which one will I select? Let's see. 5.1. Use this calibration only if the customer complains about poor performance and lack of downshifts between 30 and 70. Okay, new improved. Okay, we'll use this bottom one here. And let's go ahead and set this up. DCM, unrecognized calibration. So it doesn't recognize the calibration that's in this transmission control module. So we're going to go ahead and import it. HVA, we may start communicating, blah, blah, blah. Alright, let's see if we can program this on the bench. This is the first time I'm doing this, so let's see if it works. So first time doing the G. Oh, I heard the solenoids kick off and the CAN bus got quiet. Let me show you on the screen here. Let me screw this down a bit. But I'll see the CAN bus. Oh, it kind of communicated there, but the solenoid stopped. So let's see what it does if it programs. It's downloading, it's verified, and now it says right into the ECU. Okay, looks like you can do it on the bench. So I wasn't 100% sure if you needed the ECU to be tied in with this, as it needed to communicate with it, but it should be good to go. I put in the correct VIN number and all that stuff before when I had the vehicle here, and I told the customer that I would, because he got the wrong module, I believe, or a non-working module. So I told him if he got him a working module, I would reprogram it for him for a little bit. And he got the new one. Now it's programming. The CAN bus data looks great without that solenoid running. You can see it over there on the far right of the screen. That's looking pretty good. So just let it keep riding. Don't disturb it. Sit back, wait for it to finish. So the calibration IDs that I have, it does not match up to what I'm programming in. So we'll see. I'll hook up the scan tool to it and see if I can actuate and shift the gears before I tell the customer to come out here and get it. That's a good thing about like the 4060, 4080 is you can command it with a bidirectional scanner to shift the gears. So I'm gonna make sure I do that first before I call up the customer and say, hey, come get your module. Just want to test and verify. He brought me this module. He said it was remanufactured, but once I opened it up, it had like black fluid in it. I could tell it was a used module. It wasn't a remanufactured, new anyway. I mean, it could be remanufactured, but it ain't new. So we'll see how this does. I'm gonna run the test on it after it's programmed, and then make sure all the gears can change. And you have to have the right software to actually talk to the ECU correctly as well. So right now with this software, it should match up to the ECU. So the ECU and the transmission control module can talk to one another, and you can see throttle position and transmission speed can be transmitted to the ECU. So the ECU knows how to tell, for the torque stuff. Okay, looks like almost done. There's the last little bit. Click, click. All right, so I finished it up. I don't know. This ain't gonna do nothing for anybody, so I ain't worried about blocking it. But let's go ahead and clear the DTCs. Okay, so it looks like the can is back on. I see it over there. It's all wavy because I can hear that solenoid buzzing. An error occurred. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to power this down. Let's turn the switch off first, and then turn off the battery. Okay, now turn on the battery and turn on the ignition switch. Now let's see if we can clear it. Clear. I'm going to grab my camera real quick. Let's see if that'll clear this time. If not, we're going to use the scan tool to do it. Alright, so, okay. It did not clear. As you can see, an error occurred. But, so these are what I pulled off for the module beforehand. So that's all the little calibration data I pulled off there beforehand. So let's go ahead and close out Techline Connect, and we're going to get the scan tool hooked back up to it and see how it did here. So let me unplug it. So I'm going to unplug it there. And then I'll make sure the VCMI connects to the scan tool. There we go. Get back. And let's see if that changes anything. I hit, let's go back. Information, read. Yep, it changed it. So it did change the programming and everything. So, alright, so let's go over here, go to active tests. So the first thing I'm going to do, now I got the scan tool on it, I just reset it, so let's see if we can, let me close out this here, so we don't need this anymore. And shut down. Okay, window capture, let's turn that off, and bring this screen up a little bit. Alright, so what I'm going to do is control the TCC. We're going to see if we get some control on it. I'm going to listen out for that solenoid. Yep. I can hear it clicking. I'm going to turn it on and off. And you can see it on the waveform too. Let me zoom in right there so you can see it. You'll watch it. Alright, you can turn it on. See, it got a little noisier. And now it's back into the loop. That's when the solenoid kicks in. That's another solenoid trying to cancel it out. But let's go back to the view now. Let's go back. And let's do shift transmission. Let's see if we can watch it. Shift, but you also got to have some fluid pressure on that. So I'm not really seeing amperage move around either when solenoid shift. I guess what I could do is hook up a nut clamp on this thing and we can watch it on the scope to see if it is actually shifting. So give me 1 second. set up for this. Maybe watch it on the scope. Let's see here. Sorry, my little camera holder there is just a little flimsy thing. So let's get this little Finneresi scope. It's good enough for this type of stuff. So let's do a current probe. And let's put it it's at 10 volts. So let's put it down to about 1 volt. See if it's on the ground. Let me shift gears. I just made it super sensitive is all. Nothing crazy. You know what out of me. Let's put it on the ground wire here. You can definitely see the noise. Let's see if I get some downshifts here. Let's see the current changes. Exit that. Let's do shift solenoid 1 command. So yeah, bring this over here. So shift solenoid command. Let's see if I can get some buttons. On, off, on. Yep, I hear that. So you can see the current going up and down in that waveform there. So it is working. That's shift solenoid 1. Let's see if she's solenoid 2. Yep. Current went up even more. Okay, cool. Let's go to line pressure control solenoid. This procedure allows command of the line pressure solenoid. It commands are 200 kPa increments and decrements. Pressure gauge installed by technician should increase and decrease the value. Blah blah blah. Okay. So the okay, high side driver 1. Let's see if it'll actually do it. On, off, okay. On, off, okay. That's working. That's the high side driver 1. Pressure control solenoid. Let's see if that actuates. Yep. Works. Okay. Pressure control solenoid 3. Okay, that works. Pressure control solenoid 4. Yep, that works. Pressure control solenoid 5. Perfect. It looks noisy, but that's just the pulse width modulated signal of the solenoids here. So they run on a duty cycle. That's what makes a sound here. I'm going to turn that off now. And what I'm going to do, since he's going to install this thing, we're going to reset transmission adaptations. That way everything is nice and cleared and there's nothing stored in the module when he gets it. So we're going to reset everything. Command state reset. And it shows reset. Okay. So that was pretty much all the tests through here. Alright, I'm going to reset the oil transmission life. Let's see what it's set to here. Okay, it says 100%, so I don't have to change it. Because he's going to have to put new transmission fluid in when he puts his valve on. All the ECU information, or the transmission control information here. Make sure all the calibration data looks good. And the trouble codes, it's probably going to show some trouble codes. Because it doesn't have like one or two of the sensors on there, maybe like an internal temperature sensor or something like that. Oh, it's not showing anything. Okay. Alright, so see if there's any additional. No? Okay. Just read trouble codes on it. Nothing. No codes. Okay. I'm happy with that. It's only going to show the transmission control module on this. So let's put it shut off. I'll call the customer. Let's turn off the ignition switch first. That's why you see the solenoid still there. And now let's kill the battery. Perfect. Alright, call up the customer and let them know it's ready to go. Get them installed. It should shift the transmission. The other one that he had did not shift the transmission whatsoever. So yeah, I couldn't even command it, couldn't make it do anything. So it was a bad module to begin with. So he ended up buying another module. He had somebody do the work for him. I didn't do any of the transmission work for him. So I just wanted to get the programming done on this new module for him so he can have whoever he's going to have install the thing. And then I told him to give me a call, let me know how everything works out when I get this program. So now I'm going to call him and let him know that it's programmed. He can come pick it up. So we'll see you next time. If you like the video, just like and subscribe. Maybe I'll post up some more, the more likes that I get for it, and we'll go from there. Y'all have a great day.